Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of June 20th, 21st, and 22nd, 2014. I am astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Next Friday is my big July 2014 webinar. This is the webinar of all webinars. We have been talking about July, the portal ending, Jupiter coming into Leo, Mars finally getting out of Libra after all this time in there since December. This is going to be the big shifting. Woo! It's an event you've been waiting for. Check out the registration link down below or on my website, inclusiveastrology.com, to register for this big and powerful July event. Now, my big actual physical July event in Sedona, registration is ending July 1st. So check out my website, leokingevents.com, this weekend if you're interested in joining us out there in July. And we have got a big shifting weekend because the shifting is of the seasons, right? We are moving into summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, winter down south, and this is the sign of Cancer. This is the crab, this is the peak. This is an intense emotional shifting point in our lives, and especially because the sun and the moon are gonna shift at the same time. And so we're going to go through a couple different energies. We're going to start the weekend with this sun in Gemini, finishing off all these questions, all this stimulation, all this change. You know, one thing about Gemini is it's very environmental. Our environment is constantly changing. Our perception's constantly changing. It's like thought process is changing. And we've got the moon in Aries, which adds to this fire and air, this dynamic kind of energy. And there's a big pressure as the moon's going to enter this big T-square that's been forming in space on Friday. And there might be a little edge coming in to this weekend, I'll be honest. Having the sun at the end of Gemini wanting to, change and move out of its, position and move into Cancer, and then the moon coming into the pressure of opposing Mars, coming over Uranus, squaring Pluto. There's maybe some pressure of what we want. Maybe there's actions that we want to take. There might be frustrations we have to step over. But I think that the dynamic is to put an edge on our life, that maybe this edge is going to help us understand what we want to take action in. Remember, a moon in Aries is about being dynamic, saying, you know what, let's do this. I want this. This is also Chiron going retrograde this weekend, and it actually happens Friday. And this has to do with a very deep part of ourselves. Now, a lot of people always talk about Chiron being the wounded healer and how this wounded part of ourselves is going to go retrograde. But I always look at Chiron as this half planet, half asteroid. It's this weird energy that never fully developed. And there's part of ourselves now that is kind of getting off the chain here a little bit from the universe when it comes to developing our more sensitive aspects of our soul, that now it's time for us to really reveal unconscious parts of ourselves to be aware. And this weekend's going to really, I think, unveil some very kind of multidimensional, other, dimensional kind of spiritual aspects. We're having the intense energy form of Mars opposing Uranus. Anything can start to happen. We're having a big shifting of the seasons happening, a big summer solstice or winter solstice happening, and this is going to be powerful. This is dynamic change. This is cardinal energy about to come in, and that really happens on Saturday when the sun comes into Cancer and the moon's going to be in Aries, but then finish off in Taurus at night. So we're going to switch from this dynamic kind of airy, fiery, passionate, all over the place kind of into this more, homey, physical, grounded energy. And I think this weekend is going to take us into finally bring in some stability. Things have been all over the place. This is, remember, a Mercury retrograde time. Mars has been in Libra. There's been so much things to weigh out. There's been a very intellectual, emotional battle going on. This is also, Cancer, the sign of emotions, the sign of feeling, the sign of opening up your true roots and seeing if you're anchored in the right spot, as far as this always has to do with home and family. This has to do with nurturing yourself. So this is a time for us to, I think, really shift out of this weekend where it might be a little edgy coming in still. There's been all this change that we're trying to figure out, and this can bring us the stability we've been looking for. The moon will come into Taurus and ground out and really feel good. I think this is going to be an excellent moon in Taurus. This is also the last weekend of Venus in Taurus, so there's a lot around relationship stuff happening. Venus and Jupiter have been making a nice sextile. Venus is finishing in Taurus to really feel the richness of things, and I think this sun in Cancer is going to help it. There could be some really, really great feelings, some really great unions coming together this weekend. This is going to be one of those weekends that you'll feel a big, powerful shift in your life. One that feels more grounded, one that feels that's more physically attainable, one that allows us to start to see the magic of the universe starting to unveil what's going on. Chiron Retrograde is going to highlight, are you able to go with the flow? Are you able to trust your gut? Where is your intuition at? Are you really starting to see, as look at Chiron is making a perfect trine over to Saturn, are you really living in your truth? And are you ready to accept the truth? The universe is ready to deliver stuff in your life of your truth. And I think that this is an excellent weekend to start to see that. This weekend as well is really all about this emotional grounding in a really nice energy. And I think we need it in our lives. There's a lot of emotions to sort out. There's a lot of intellectual questions. But there's also this period where we're wanting to feel and manifest and create and step into our power and step into who we are. We're sick of kind of being all over the place. And we're ready for some excitement. We're ready for a little bit of an edge. We're kind of waking up here as the cocktail's wearing off. The fog's kind of coming away here. And we're ready for something to kind of hit. And this weekend, I think, hits us with a powerful message from Spirit, but I think one that deals with one that you can actually physically see and touch and feel. This is a very touchy-feely weekend. Cancer mixed with Taurus. Can also get kind of lazy, I'll be honest, but it really is about feeling. The card of the weekend is, you guys are all going to laugh, the 7 of Cups upright. We've been getting this card a lot, and I shuffled the crap out of this deck. But this is where there's so many beautiful options in our life. There's so many little shiny things. Kind of a typical Gemini thing. Oh, shiny things. It's like this weekend puffs us into start to seeing that there are all these gifts from the universe. Which one is it that we want? Which one are we going to ground in? Which one is the most attainable and worthwhile in our life? I think we need to pay attention to that. These are some nice blessings coming in. And I think the edge that we come into this weekend allows us to really feel and sit in the positivity and the greatness as we're getting ready for some big shifts in July of a big Jupiter leaving Cancer into Leo, Mars finally getting out. There's going to be, of Libra, there's going to be so much changing here. And it's pretty much like this weekend starts to set into motion and build the nice floor and foundation of what those changes are going to be. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com. If you have any questions, or if you want to have a one-on-one reading, or if you want to register for the big Sedona event or the big July 2014 webinar, check it all out, inclusiveastrology.com. See you guys on Monday.